Hello. So, I thought I'd try to do an LP of one of my favorite games. It's called Papo and Yo. Came out in the year 2012, and it's kind of hard to... Oh, let me just lower the sound a little bit. Okay. So, it came out in the year 2012, and it's kind of hard to come up with generalization for the types of games that were coming out. Mostly sequels. It was like Far Cry 3, Mass Effect 3, Assassin's Creed 3, also Dishonored, which some friends and family might know. I also tried to do an LP of that, but I got distracted, so yeah, maybe I'll finish that one and the second game some other time, maybe. Another game that came out was Journey. And I feel like this game, Papo and Yo and Journey, they're kind of similar in a way, but it's interesting that I'm pretty sure they were basically both made completely independently, like not even knowing each other existed. But it's funny how similar the two are despite that, because they both run around like 3 hours long. They both feature stunning visuals and it's just an amazing soundtrack. You might not have noticed from the music playing right now. Or maybe I'm talking too loudly over it, I don't know. But, yeah, no, they're two beautiful games, visually and audibly. And, before we get to it, I'd just like to point out one thing that I love about this menu is, you just highlight one button, and then there's a frog, there's a frog, there's a frog. What if we just let it rain frogs? Anyways, we'll find out what's up with the frogs in a bit. Let's start the game. To my mother, brothers, and sisters with whom I survived the monster and my father. Oof. Keep forgetting how rough an impact this poor child has. If it were me, I wouldn't have just leaped blindly through. I would have like touched it first, like at a first glance. It doesn't exactly scream Portal to me, but maybe that's just me. In any event, it looked like from the cutscene, he was hiding from a literal monster that I guess would be the monster he mentioned before in the one that he survived his mother and brothers and sisters with. Anyways, we're off in a new land. Pretty vibrant one. It's a favela. Favela? I'm so sorry for mispronouncing that. And presumably, this girl who just slammed the door on us is the one who let us in here to begin with, so I don't know why she's slamming the door. Can't interact with this. But we can interact with this. And then what I like to is if you push it back. I really like that musical touch. Also, worth noting, so she just made a door out of chalk, and then through these chalk markings, just we peeled away the layers of the wall, and behind it was this this otherworldly chalk just and like just sparkles whenever you step on it, and I just love the little like, for all intents and purposes, you can see the design, like this is from the chalk, it's stairs, but then there's here and there you just see little stars, just like a kid would do. I just really appreciate it. We're gonna be seeing a lot more of that sort of magic chalk, but for now let's follow the girl who went this way.
Oye, Kiko!
Over here we have a box. It's the hint box, and it's here to help. There's tutorial boxes that will teach me important things to succeed, and yeah, it's just telling me to look for these if I'm ever stuck. Side note, I just really like this concept art of this child walking around a city with a box on top of his head, and somehow it guides him on his way towards the light. I appreciate that. Also, another small detail I appreciate is that the box seems to sort of bob up and down as Kiko breathes and shifts his weight from side to side. And another detail I like is just yeah, the box just kind of stays on us. We can just walk around like this, and then Kiko's arms stay they just kind of hang there pretty stiff. It kind of adds to the charm, personally. But we need to take this off. We're going to interact with this. Again, more chalk just beneath the surface of this otherwise like pretty normal looking city. I also like how randomly we'll see a bunch of these houses with just like a streak of color on them, like this one with the pink. We'll see more later. Let's interact with this, but before we do, notice the doll in the upper portion of the screen. It basically screams. It screams for your attention, basically, even if it's not technically screaming. So we're gonna not open this up all the way, but enough so that we can pass through, and then eventually make our way across with a bridge. And here we have another hint box. It's letting us know that there's many hats hiding away in obscure places. As many as 25 to be precise, and I want all of these hats. I love the frog hat, I love the crown, I love the strainer. I want to wear like all of these at once. I can't tell if that's a sombrero or a cowboy hat, but I don't know. Yeah, it's a hat. I like it. Anyways, that doll that we saw, it had a hat, or it would have one. I don't know how to delete the save file offhand, and to be frank, I'm a little too lazy to start off with a fresh slate. But he would be wearing a hat, more specifically, this one. So you come over here, and you get a new hat. Doesn't really do anything, just if you want Kiko to look more like a boy. A very small boy. But we'll keep him hatless for now. So we have two paths. We could go down this way, or we can go up. We're gonna go up because going down, we'll go down there eventually in our own time. And I hope no one was living there, because pretty sure they'd feel that if they were. In any event, as we move on, there's another doll here, and he would have this hat. It's a soccer ball just over Kiko's eyes, or a portion of a soccer ball. I'm not really quite sure who would wear this, but I mean, I guess for some people, like, you know, sports, they aren't just a game. it's a way of life, you know? You need to... You wake up in the morning, you want to feel the sports, you want to see the sports, you want to be the sports, and this is what that hat is all about, I guess. If you could call it that. Yes, we did finally found you. The small thing I like about this specific shot is that tower of shacks off in the distance, it almost points towards her, like as if it's trying to draw your attention and focus in just to her, which I think is really nice visual design. And backtracking a bit to the houses with the colored streaks, like I just love how random they are. Like there's one with blue, green, there's a pink house but it's got more blue streaks to it. It's just so colorful. For what should be looks like a ghetto, it's very colorful and lighthearted. Anyways, we are going to interact with this thingy. And yeah. So what's our friend Haps think about that? Oh, she's gone. Before we press on, these frogs, we need to grab one. I need to show something off. Look at this precious baby. I love how he's being held like a baby, and just his little arms wrapped around your shoulders, his feet just dangling. It's pretty chill, and just look at the anime. It's so cute. The way they just kind of dangle in the wind as you go. You're coming with us, pal. You're our new best friend. What should we name you? I feel like Froggy's too easy. Is there room for more in that door? I have a friend. No? Dang. I don't think she likes you, bud. Maybe it's me. I don't know. Another thing I like about this city is that, for as many houses as we've just walked past... let's set you down, little guy. Be free. There's, like, indications that, you know, life was here recently. Like, who else has been tending to these potted plants? What's up with the graffiti? Who else could have done the graffiti aside from a person? What's up with the water barrels, the planks of wood, the trash cans, the towels hanging from the windows? Like, it all screams like, yeah, stuff was happening, but there's not a soul in sight. Except for that girl and the frogs. Speaking of the girl. So, we need to get over to her. So we're gonna do the most video game thing and just interact with things until we find a way. And yeah, this is what grabbing these boxes do. Just grabs the whole house. Hope no one's in there, because they're in for a wild ride. The lights seem like they're on too, so I feel pretty sorry for them. And if anyone was in there, they might be a little shook. I would be. Oh, and there goes the support holding that house. I mean, they're flying with magic now, so maybe they never needed the support. I feel like, when I first played this game, and this scene first happened, I knew I was going to be in for quite a visual ride. Anyways, you'll notice off in the distance there's another doll floating on a floating cube over there. Basically, if we wanted to reach it, instead of making a straight line with the houses as we did, we would just curve them, like, in that box area towards the doll. And all it would reward us with would be, let's see if I can get the camera to zoom in on it, this fishbowl over Kiko's head. And then also, if we were to mess up and jump into the river, it would just kind of like pick you up Mario Kart style, and you'd come back with this fish on your head. So let's follow the girl, but let's put the fish head away. I don't know if you noticed that brief stutter in the frames per second, but hold up, let me get rid of that. Those just popped up behind us. So we're locked in. We're heading this way. Yep, saving checkpoint. Yeah, even more of an indicator. Yep, this is the only way now. So let's turn this knob. I love how this house elevator stutters when it makes impact with the ceiling, but then it just keeps pressing through. And then I love just that garden on top of all those jacks. It does not seem structurally sound or physically possible for it to be up there without crushing everything underneath it, but there it is. Anyways, girl is over there by the gate. She has a name, but I don't remember it offhand. I want to say it starts with an A. Alejandra, I think. But we can't reach her because these houses... It's not close enough to jump. We need to do the video game thing and, you know, let's press some buttons. Let's start with this one. And of course it has legs. This... So basically, I know I already said it before, but when you could pick up those boxes and just suddenly all the houses get picked up, it feels like this game is in part a love letter to what I presume to be the original designer director? I'll go with director's childhood, because he apparently did grow up in this kind of a setting. And although it probably wasn't as magical to a child, maybe it was to him. Or maybe he envisioned something more magical, or yearned for one. I don't know. Here's a hint box. Could walking houses help us reach difficult spots? Yes. Yes, they can. Well, we found those gears already. Anyways, with these stairs, we can walk up here. And then, now, we can bring this house in closer. I love the little sound effects they make too as they go. They're so cute. I never thought... I mean, I hear sometimes people calling houses cute, but this is like cute in a more animal sense. Like, I almost want to pet it on the head and tell it it's a good boy or girl. In any event, that should be all the houses. And we have a way across. Side note, we could have made this elaborate sort of construction where, like, basically we walk over towards the red house, turn the knob, and then try to reach the gate, but that would take too long, and if you can tell by the clock sound and this visual of the rope running out, yeah, it's timed. Conveniently, though, Nice quality of life touch. You can just touch it to refresh the timer again instead of having to wait it out. So, off to do more video game things where we just push and pull things because we can. And then behind it is this. I already mentioned this before, but I love the little stars that happen to be there with the chalk. And then, I don't know if it was readily apparent in the previous instances with, when we summoned this otherworldly chalk from behind the buildings and the behind the buildings and the floor. There's like this sparkly texture to the chalk that kind of gives it more of an ethereal sort of look to it. I'm very fond of that. I'm gonna be saying I'm very fond of, or I'm in love with, a lot of things in this game. Alright, so which of these houses are we gonna snag? This one. We're just gonna dump that down over there. Oh, this knob. Pick the house back up, and thankfully the house goes right through the ladder. We can climb up. Just taking a gander at the area we're leaving behind. So the way she's just kind of sitting, or back against the wall, this square, almost arena-like area, and then it's saving as it zooms out. It almost, it almost paints the impression of a boss fight is about to happen, but let's find out what happens. That... Jesus, girl! Oof. Let's... Okay, so the height we fell from, the camera will not even let me pan up all the way to see how high it was. That would have certainly killed Kiko if it wasn't for that action figure with a jetpack that saved us. So, yeah. Should we talk about that dream sequence? Kiko running in the rain, or Kiko in a car in the rain, being driven by perhaps a more literal representation of his father instead of the figurative monster one. So basically, we just unlocked the double jump. And also just really cool graffiti. Again, just I love the colors that whoever did all the art is just I need to see more of his stuff. Anyways, the second jump upgrade has a name. Her name is Lula, my awesome robot. And it's basically just reiterating if hey, if you missed the tutorial, here's what she does. And seems like there's nothing down here, even though it looks like there would be since they bothered to put a ladder down there. In any event, let us press on. This occurred to me, Kiko lost his shoe during that fall, and his coat. But I mean, we got the jetpack, so I guess that kinda evens out? I don't know. Yeah, no, I'd trade a shoe for a jetpack. Not only just a jetpack, but one that'll help me out and just push buttons that are far away for me. It's very handy, especially when you live in video games and you need to press buttons all the time. I appreciate the way he almost sings Lula's name whenever he calls her. Oh, frames. I like how the music picks up just as you activate those. Anyways, here's another hint box. Telling us more of what we already know, but it's got prettier pictures to go with it. The second jump seems to have a little bit of input lag sometimes. So, I don't know if you remember this place, but this is where all the little houses with legs were. Let's see what happens when we press this. Will this grow legs too? Yes! It will. It'll grow 6 of them, in fact. And I love how the little houses get out of the way. Look at this big boy. The absolute size of this man. This boy house. Oh, he's such a good boy. Thank you, house, for letting us ride on you. In any event, in order to press on, we must destroy this presumably impoverished area's infrastructure even more, but I mean, we haven't seen anyone, so maybe no one will mind. Also, we can fix it. Also, walking through a sewer barefoot, or half barefoot. That doesn't. It's unfortunate. Would you still trade a jetpack for a shoe in that situation? How much of a germaphobe are you? Is probably the answer. Also, this jetpack doesn't last forever. So, more graffiti. It's the second bird we've seen. I wonder if the artist in particular just appreciates birds. Not quite sure what that spells out either. G blank blank Eisel. I'll look into it maybe later on. see. Looks like he's heading the same way we are, though. That walking cycle, seems a little janky to me, but then he reverts into a pretty fast run cycle, which does look a lot smoother. Unrelated to him, I am in love with this scene because look at how many houses are here, how many shacks. This would house how many people? Yet we still haven't seen a single soul. And it makes me wonder, like, did they all leave because of the monster? Or, like, did the monster eat everyone? Or, like, just, where is everyone? So many questions. Mostly, where is everyone? Which is, I guess, is only one question, but still. It's just like, why? Why did everyone leave? So, we've seen this puzzle before. We're short one, though. So, we're gonna bring this over here. Drop it. Now we can get this. Oh, hey, that's the girl that almost murdered us. And now she stole one of our blocks. Could you give that back? Could you give that back? No? Yeah, we'll never catch her. Does the hint box have any suggestions on how to deal with her? It tells us we need 3 pieces. Knew that already. It tells us we need a stool if we want to get to the goods. Knew that. It's also telling us that house will eat someone. I mean, she did almost try to murder us. So, guess we're gonna pull that lever, see what happens. It's actually a lot less grisly than what that hint box led me to believe. In any event, now we can make progress. And then on that note, I feel like it's been close to almost 40 minutes. So, on that note, we'll probably see you in the next episode when we see what's behind, or what's below, and what's inside this water tower. See you then.